Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. So today we're just going to go over our palette collection because we have so many eyeshadow palettes and we figured we would show them to you so you guys can see that not only famous YouTubers can have thousands of eyeshadow palettes. So, if you're interested in seeing our little palette collection, then just keep on watching. Alright, so we finally got a little bit of a storage unit going on here. Organization is poor, but this is like one of the little Jaclyn Hill brush set things. But we just use it to store our smaller palettes, so we're going to go over that first. In here we have mostly smaller palettes and more affordable, like our Colorpop and then the Morphe ones. So first up in here we have our Huda Beauty palettes, the Electric Obsessions, which looks like this. And then the Warm Brown Obsessions, which looks like this. These palettes are really good. I think they're great. We used to have this smoky one, but we decluttered it because we just weren't using it, but that one is still just that gorgeous. One was gorgeous, but we did shatter the black in it, so then it just became like a mess. Like we ruined one of our drawers in our old storage thing because the black was just everywhere in it, and it just got smudged around. And then we've got this little e.l.f. Modern Metals palette, which is a lot better than I expected it to be. I actually quite enjoy this palette. I don't use it very often, but I want to get a little bit more use out of it. The shimmers are kind of, some of them are kind of meh, some of them are kind of cute, but the palette itself, it's really good. It's probably the best of e.l.f. palettes that I've tried personally. I really, really like it. Then we do have our little Wet n Wild Nude Awakening palette, which is kind of like a Huda Beauty Smoky Obsessions kind of vibe. But the shimmers are crap. Yeah, but the mattes are good and they're cool toned, which we don't really have, so that's always good. And then we've got the Profusion Mixed Metals palette. This one is in Silver Sparkle. This one's cute. The Silver Sparkle don't do anything, but the purples in there are actually super good too. I actually haven't used this yet. I really should. I haven't even thought about it, so maybe I'll do a little tutorial on this sometime. I don't know. And then we have the Jaclyn Hill Vault. We did get rid of one of them because it was the red brown one. Yeah. So this one is Armed and Gorgeous, which is gorgeous. I know these had some controversy. I haven't had a ton of issues with them. The shimmers you do have to apply with your finger though. And then we have this one, which is the, what's this called? Bling Boss. I forgot. This one's also really pretty. I used it a few times and I would like to get more use out of it because it's really a gorgeous palette. I just haven't. And then this one I've got the least use out of. Dark Matter. I thought it was Dark Magic. Oh, it's Dark Magic. I was thinking of Melt. I've got the least use out of this. I've used it before and I really liked it. It's for some reason I just don't gravitate toward it, which is weird because this is very much my color scheme. So I've used it quite a few times. I like it a lot. I do like this one a lot though. I think it's the most unique and it adds the most value as far as all of them, but they're pretty good. I don't mind them. And I'm not going to go through these too intensely. We just went through all of our Colorpop palettes. So we've got the Bretman, is it the Bretman Rock? Mm-hmm. The Bretman Rock Wet one, which is like all blues and stuff. Got the Kathleen Dream Street. You can open them at least. Well, we showed them all in our last video. Fine. So if you want to see them, look at our last video. Anyway, the new, well, I'll show this one because it's lovely. The new I Love Sanity Through My Eyes palette with Colorpop. Fantastic. Beautiful. Everything I could ever want. Then the Good Sport palette by Colorpop, which just has some purples. I'll show them, whatever. Some purples. And then the Makeup Shayla Perception palette. And then, lastly, the Katheleenlights Dream Street palette, which is still like a good fave of mine. I would say this one would be a good like starter eyeshadow palette. If you want to use that one today. Yeah. Oh, yeah, if you want to just do something a little bit fun but not too crazy, that's a really good palette. And then we also just have our Dose of Colors I Love Sanity collab here, which is perfect in every way. So that's kind of all of our like little palettes. Most of them. And we can move on to the big kahunas. Yeah, most of them are affordable, but not all of them. These are our medium palettes. We have a section for our larger palettes. These are, I mean, most of these are pretty big, but these are more on the medium side. They're not Morphe Dare to Create size. So this is our bucket here. I need to work out. Oh. We've got our little Tart Z palette. This is really, really nice. If you guys are looking for like a Z palette option, this is huge. It's sturdy. It's got a giant mirror. It's got like all of our Coastal Scent shades and a couple Colourpop ones, and then this random highlighter from Ciate London. But I would recommend buying one of these if you want.
They're really sturdy.
Super sturdy.
Really good. Then we have our Kristen Leanne Kaleidoscope palette, one of our favorite palettes of all time. It's kind of funny because you can't really tell how used and abused this is, but we reach for this all the time. This didn't get that much hype, but I think you can probably still find it on clearance.
Nordstrom.
Yep, Nordstrom. This is high quality.
It is best. Go get it. And then we have a Profusion, the Profusion Royals palette. Vic did a tutorial with this that was like absolutely gorgeous. It was just with the neutrals, but it was still really like fun, I guess.
It's really good. The only duds are like this silver shade, and then this one you can get some out of, but it doesn't really go with the rest of the colors, so it's kind of a weird one.
Yeah, but Profusion has some really good things at a very affordable price.
We have a few of their palettes.
And then this Makeup Revolution Fierce as Fire palette. We got this as a gift with purchase at Ulta.
It's really good.
Yeah.
This rose gold shade, I don't know. You can never tell on camera when you swatch, but it is just to die for. Like,
it's such a good palette. The shimmers are so good. I mean, it could use with some deeper mattes, but it's a good like combo palette that you can throw in with like a neutral palette as well, just to give it a little bit of like something special. This is so good.
And then we have our trusty old Urban Decay Electric palette. I don't use this very often anymore.
It's expired AF.
Yeah, it's definitely expired, but I just can't bring myself to get rid of this. This was the first like colorful palette we ever got that really actually worked. We got the big Urban Decay one that was like a holiday thing a few years ago. That one sucked, dude. It sucked. This one is perfect. It's obviously not available anymore, which is tragic. I still use the blues in here, but other than that, like these greens are definitely expired. The silver doesn't work, but I will never get rid of it, so. Oh, and then we have the Olimar Cosmetics Reina del Caribe palette. I don't know. This is gorgeous.
Got it in BoxyCharm.
Yeah, these shimmers are to die for. This one actually dupes a Natasha Denona shimmer that we have, so I'm just saying. It's nice. I just really love this palette. I don't use it that often because it's really just warm tones with Papa Blues, but I think it's so high quality, so I do like this one.
Then we've got our good old Violet Voss. I always do that. Our good old Violet Voss Flamingo palette. Still love this palette. We'll continue to use it. There's a lot of fallout on my hands now. But the blues specifically are the reasons I reach for this palette, because I think they're absolutely to die for. They're so blendable. They're so beautiful and lovely. But there's like this really pretty purple and all this fun stuff. It's such a nice palette. I love it so much. And then we've got our little Dose of Colors Friendcation palette. 100% a must in your life. This palette is unmatched, unbeatable. The shimmers in here are something else. We have made a significant dent in Just a Kiss. This is just a really good palette, and all of the neutrals go like 10 times deeper than they look in the pan. Even this shade shows up on my skin tone. Like this one looks like you wouldn't be able to see it, but you can like completely
It looks
see
like
it.
a setting shade, but it's not. It's too dark to set your eyes with if you're light skin tone, but it's so good.
Plus the packaging. I mean, you just can't resist.
It's perfect. There's nothing wrong with this palette. And then we have two EBH palettes. So this is the Norvina. I do like this one. Again, it's neutral, so I don't always reach for it, but the shimmers are gorgeous. The mattes work really well. I love the shade Soul, and nobody uses it when they do tutorials with this palette.
It's ugly.
No, it's not. It's a beautiful periwinkle, and it breaks my heart. But I love this palette. And then we have the Soft Glam, which is probably the only full neutral palette in our collection anymore. But I do really like this one as well. I don't reach for it unless I'm going for an all-neutral look, which is not often, let me tell you. But it's just...
But it is one of those palettes a lot of times, like if we go somewhere, we typically take it for all of the neutrals.
It's just a staple. I know if I use this, I'm gonna look good, so...
And we have the Makeup Revolution Soph Extra Spice palette. This is a nice palette. It's not one of my faves. I bought Vic both of these for our, was it the birthday? Mm-hmm. For our birthday. Bought her like a whole bunch. She's like a drugstore person, so I usually end up going a little bit too hard with the high-endness, and she likes it, but she would rather get 45 things for a cheaper price, you know? So I got her this and the other one, and they're really nice. The shimmers aren't like great. The mattes are pretty good. It's not the best palette in the world, but it's got a bomb mirror, let me tell you. And the packaging's cute, and we just wanted to support Soph. But I wouldn't say this is a bad palette by any means. It's just, it's a Makeup Revolution palette. You know, you're not gonna
You have to work with it, but I think it's pretty high quality for the price. Like, you can get really pretty looks out of it. Makeup, what's her actual thing? Makeup, Make Me Up Nisa?
Yeah, Make Me Up Nisa.
She does gorgeous looks with this, and so I need to follow one of those tutorials sometimes because she really knows how to do her stuff, but I think it's a beautiful palette. So.
It's a good starter palette as well, like something a little bit fun but not too crazy. It's just one of those kind of palettes.
Packaging's pretty too.
Mm-hmm. And then we've got the EBH Cosmetics Estable palette. I love the shimmers in here so much. I don't reach for this palette quite enough. I found that this blue gives me some trouble. I'm not sure why.
I haven't had issues with it.
I don't know what happened, but this brown shade right here, don't tell me why, but this is the most gorgeous brown shade I've ever seen in my life. This is a good palette. We broke the mirror. We do that sometimes, but
often.
This is a nice, fun palette. I do enjoy it.
It's good. Then we have my love, my joy, my everything, my Natasha Denona Gold palette, which I got this year for Christmas.
It's already so abused.
I have beaten the crap out of this guy. I just think it's beautiful. Need I say more? And it's $1 billion.
We do have a 2 looks 1 palette up with that.
We do. And probably more to come. Okay. And then we have our Colorpop Z palette with these 2 highlighters in there. I don't use them. Like, I don't know if I went through that in the Colorpop video. I don't know why I got those. Should have gotten blushes or something, but I have those in there anyway. But I love Colorpop shadows. I really do. And so I have some individuals in here, and I do reach for this semi-often, so love him.
Then we have the Dominique Cosmetics Lemonade palette. This palette's beautiful. The mattes in here perform great. Some of the shimmers are just, you really have to go in to get any pigment.
They're pretty sheer.
Yeah, the colors are so unique though. I find the palette to be worth it. I don't know if this would be something that I recommend you run out and buy, but if you really love like specific shades in here, like the yellows are fantastic and this pink is really pretty. The biggest dud for me is this peach shade. It doesn't, I really have to like scrape it off. But this like blueberry fizz shade's really nice too. It's just a good palette, but I wouldn't recommend you like run out and like buy it right away. It's just, it's good.
If the shimmers were better, I would say this is like totally worth it, but because the shimmers aren't that great, it's like, it's a good palette.
But for good shimmers, we have the BH, we have the BH Cosmetics Aurora Lights palette. It's all shimmers. It's really, really pretty. It's really fun. This shade, 24K, I used all over my lid once in a little like Insta like eye video thing. Got like 7,000 views. It's a pretty shade. 24K, man.
And for an affordable price.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have our 2 larger profusion palettes. So this one is the Confidence palette. It's just a warm tone palette for like fall, I guess, or if you like warm tones. This is really, really good quality. Some of the shimmers are duds, but as far as profusion goes, this is probably like one of their, like these bigger pan ones I don't normally have luck with, but these that were the holiday ones, I had really good luck with, and I really, really like this. So I would recommend this, and plus it was like $10, $9.99 at Target, I think. And then the Wanderlust palette. Use that more. This one is stunning. I love this one so much. I don't know if I've used the purples in this one. I am assuming they're good because I used it in the other ones. I used those, but the greens in here are gorgeous. The shimmers in here are really pretty. This one's kind of chunky, but it's a good topper shade. I just really, really like this palette. I think it's high quality.
So then we have the other Natasha Denona palette, the blue brown palette. This is gorgeous. This is a staple for freelancing when we do that.
We always bring this when we do wedding makeup, or
this and the Jaclyn Hill original Morphe palette. We always bring these along for like the deeper mattes in the Jaclyn palette. But this has all of like the shimmery, warm tone, taupey, neutral shades you could ever ask for. And then it's got some pretty greens that nobody's ever gonna ask for on a wedding except for me. But this is gorgeous. Not worth the price in any way, shape, or form. But it's good to have in the collection.
But I love it. I love it so much. I know.
And then for the absolute best palette that has ever come out in the history of ever, the Be Perfect Cosmetics Stacey Marie MUA palette. Oh my god.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Vic got it for me for Christmas after me talking about it ever since it launched. Ever since before it launched. I want this palette. I want this palette. Hint, hint. Christmas. Hint, hint. I wanted it so freaking bad. But I have trouble buying things that are not on Ulta. I don't get points. But this shade, Center, the highlight, is very, very similar to Dose of Color's Soulmate, FYI.
Which is, if you did not know, my holy grail highlighter. So, that's really exciting because I could definitely run through that highlighter.
Yeah, but I haven't had almost any patchiness with this palette. I've had it like a couple times. You know how sometimes you build up too much color and then it won't stick and blah. That's all my fault. This is just fantastic. 100% need in your life. There is no way around it. You have to buy it.
It's probably one of the best quality palettes I've ever tried, especially for color. It's so stunning. Now I get the controversial section. So we have the Lunar Beauty Life's the Drag palette. My brother took an angled brush and like destroyed the shade Legendary. This is a really good palette. I really enjoy it. I haven't used the blues in here, which is strange because I enjoy blues. But I really like the neutrals in here. This gold is stunning. Beet is really pretty. I like the cranberry shade, and
this is another good travel palette.
It is. It's really, really nice. I don't think there's anything wrong with this whatsoever. I don't really care what you think about Manny. I don't really watch Manny. I thought this palette was gorgeous, so we got it. So take from that what you will. And then a favorite of mine, which is also very controversial, possibly more than the Manny, is the Jeffree Star Alien palette. We broke the mirror on this as well. We often step on our palettes. I just think this is gorgeous. I don't think there's another color scheme like this that I've seen on the market. I really love this palette. I do. The shimmers are so high quality. The only problem I have with this, which is kind of a major one, is because the shimmers are like when you touch them, they're so intensely creamy, like over Natasha Denona creamy. And if you've ever swatched a Natasha Denona palette, you know how creamy those are. They crease on me.
Not me. Natasha creases on me and I can't get them to stop, but that palette doesn't crease at all.
I get creasage so bad. I need to try it with my Smashbox primer, my lid primer, because that one's been doing really well for me. Or like by setting my lid, I have to test that out. But other than that, like I love this palette so much. It just works really well for me, so there's that. We keep those in a storage bin from Amazon. It was like $15. Best purchase ever.
Then we also have these envelope holders, I guess, that we got at Target to hold like our bigger palettes that are like just too oddly shaped to kind of stick in our other storage bins. So we've got the Morphe James Charles, most irritating but lovely palette I've ever used in my entire existence. I'm sick of you. And then the Morphe Dare to Create palette. I'll hold that.
Yeah.
The Morphe Dare to Create palette, which I'm sure you've all seen. We've had it on our channel for a while. This is a good palette. I really like it. This is another kind of staple palette that like I could live without it, but it's a really good kind of travel palette. To me, it's missing some golds. It's got a lot of like bronzes, but I'm a gold kind of gal. So it's missing some gold, but as far as like
there's a lot of repetitive like neutral browns, which Morphe tends to do a lot, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, but at least it's inexpensive and it's really big. It's good for about everything.
And then we have the original Jaclyn Hill palette. This was like the first palette that we truly loved and beat the crap out of.
Pukey specifically.
Pukey is the best shade to ever exist. Jaclyn did that. I don't know if this palette is expiring or going bad. I think it might be, honestly, because some of the deeper mattes do not perform like they used to.
I'm buying another one.
I probably wouldn't buy another one now that I'm more into color. But I think this is the best formula that Morphe has. I know they said like the shadows are pressed differently. I don't know what the heck that means. But this one is better. Besides the Dare to Create and this one have the best formula. So I do really enjoy that one. And then my love, my life, my EBH Cosmetics Zodiac palette. I really want the new one, like so bad, but I'm on a no-buy. It's been in my Ulta cart for like months since it came out. The shimmers in here are so good. The mattes are really good. This middle shade is kind of weird. It's like a chunky, like gold white color. It's pretty. I would never use it on the face though. It's just very chunky. It's so shiny though. I just think this palette is so good and so well thought out. I just have no complaints about this whatsoever.
And yeah, that is the end of our little palette collection. If you guys knew us, which I'm sure a lot of you do, I've looked at our stats, a lot of you come from the Toontown. So,
the Toontown!
But if you are like friends with us, you probably know the amount of palettes we have given away. And we just had a declutter video not very long ago, and there were a ton of eyeshadow palettes in there too. So we give away a lot of palettes. Our collection has been large and it has been smaller, and
we're starting to be more conscious about our purchases. When we first got into makeup, we were just like buy and now it's buy less, you know. But we're just eyeshadow people, so it's really easy to sucker me into one of those.
Yeah, but it's nice to have a lot of different ones in our collection. It's just something unique has to come out in order for me to buy it now. Unless it's like drugstore and I think it's going to be like a really good dupe or something. Like the Friendcation palette was too unique for me to not buy, even though it was expensive. Well, you bought it, I think. Or did you buy Fuego? We split it. I don't know. But it was too unique not to purchase in our eyes. And there's just... don't regret that one bit. No, but yeah, let us know, like, you know, we just ran through all these palettes. Let us know if there's like a specific one you'd like to see some tutorials with, or any requests you have in the future. I want to start doing more tutorials. Vic has been recovering from the sickness that I provided her.
The flu, to be specific.
I had that thing for 2 weeks and I went to work every single day. Can you believe I had the flu for 2 weeks?
I've been out of work for a few days now.
But yeah, just let us know. We would love to oblige. I think it would be a fun little series, you know, like the Shop My Stash, like Shop My Stash tutorial, where we just use all of our products and we don't have to go buy anything new for a video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry, we're a little bit rambly. Please go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. And we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.